Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the perfect palette tag. I'm really excited about this. I actually just decluttered some of my palettes, so I don't have a couple in front of me that are going to be used for one of these questions, but I do have all the questions on my phone in front of me and all my palettes in front of me, so let's jump right in. So the first question on this is best packaging. And if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my phone. For best packaging, I would have to say it's my BH Cosmetics palettes. I have two of them to show you, but this is one of them. This is the Shan XO palette. Yes, it's a little dirty, but that's this palette. And then I'm going to show you my Carli Bybel palette. Now, the reason I picked these over, say, the Tartelette and Bloom, yes, it is beautiful, but the reason why I picked these over this is because for me, I really love the white and creamy shades and the pastel shades, and I love metallic writing, so these are like perfectly right in my alley for prettiest packaging. They just have nice soft colors. They have the gold and silver writing on them, and I just think they're really beautiful and simple, and I just love that packaging. It's just like, it's not too crazy and in your face. I'm not much for the cutesy packaging like this. I like things that are just a little bit more elegant and just, I don't know, soft and pretty like that. So that's my pick for best packaging. The next one is best color payoff. Let me find it. Let me dig through here without being too noisy. For best color payoff, I'm going to go with my Lorac Pro palette. I love this palette. Whenever I use this palette, I feel like it's got great pigmentation and color payoff. The colors are true to what you see in the pan. What you see is what you get. And so because of that, I always feel satisfied with whatever eye look or whatever shade I'm using, because I know whatever I see here is exactly what it's going to look like on my eyes. So I'm not left disappointed when a color does not show true to the color in the pan. So Lorac Pro palette for the best color payoff for sure. Next question is most versatile. Okay, for this, I think I was going to go with my Shan XO palette from BH Cosmetics, and the reason is this has two different sides to it. One side is a whole bunch of beautiful neutral toned eyeshadows. Then if you flip it over, you have a bunch of lipsticks. And these lipsticks range from like corals to pinks to reds to plums to nudes. I mean, you have just about every single color lipstick you could ever need in this palette, and they're really nice and creamy. They're not drying, so they're really great quality. So for that, I think you kind of have 2 for 1. You have a whole bunch of lipsticks to choose from and then eyeshadows. So this is great. Now this also, okay, the next one is best for traveling. For this one, of all the palettes that I have, I would still choose this one, and here's the reason why. It's got a bunch of eyeshadows and then a whole bunch of lipsticks. So if you didn't want to pack like 5 different lipsticks and a whole bunch of shadows and palettes, and you're into really neutrals and warm shades, you've got all the shadows you need there. You've got blending shades, you've got deeper shades, but then again, it's because of the lipsticks in this palette. I mean, they're creamy, they're pigmented, there's lots of different colors, they're not sheer. The other palette I would maybe say is the Tarte Energy Noir palette, because it's got a blush and a highlight and some nice deep colors and liner colors. But for me, hands down, Shan XO BH Cosmetics palette for best for traveling. Plus, it's magnetic, so it's not going to fall open, and it's cardboard, so it's not going to like get broken like plastic or something. Alright, the next one is the biggest regret. For me, I just decluttered this palette, so I don't have to show you, but it would be my Too Faced Vegas Nay Stardust by Vegas Nay palette, because there's so many shades that I don't use. I really only use the neutrals, so about half the palette goes unused. So for that reason, I regret purchasing that a little bit, and I never really use it anymore or reach for it, so that's why that's my biggest regret palette. Well, palette. I can't talk. Alright, the next one is the best color names. For this one, I have to go with my Too Faced Natural Matte palette. I'll read off all the names while I show them to you. Let me see, make sure it's in frame in my viewfinder. Okay, so these 3 shades we have Heaven, Lace Teddy, and Nudie. Then we're going to go down the second row, straight down. We have Cashmere Bunny, Strapless, which I love that name for an eyeshadow. And then Honey Butter. And then the last one we have Sexpresso, Risque, and Chocolate Cookie. I just think these names can be so out there and so amusing. But I love this palette, and I love the names of these shadows just because they're so random. They're funny. They're cute. I mean, yeah. just has the best shadow names that I can think of, and it just makes me smile, the names of them do. Alright, the next question is my least used palette. For this one, I would have to go with probably my Tarte Energy Noir palette. And that's because I love the blush in here, but every time I use these shadows, I feel like something's missing, like they don't translate on my eyes the way I want them to, and they just don't look, the look doesn't come out how I wanted it to. So for this reason, every time I reach for this, I feel just slightly unsatisfied, so that's why I use this palette the least of all my makeup palettes. I do keep it around just every once in a while to try it out a little bit more, maybe like trying a different look or a different shade somewhere, but these are really nice shades. They just don't translate on my eyes the way that I want them to, so for that reason, this is my least used palette. Alright, let's see. The next question is my most used palette. For this one, I'm going to have to pull out, where did it go? This might be a tie between a couple of them. It's hard to say, but the one I remember using the most consistently is my Lorac Pro palette because it's got a bunch of neutral colors, a couple pops of color that are still wearable, and it's got the top row's all matte and the bottom row's all shimmer. Now, I know I said I travel with this one, but before I had this one, this is the palette that I travel with because it's got all the eyeshadows I could ever want. I used this on my sister when I traveled. I used it on myself, and it's got great quality, a great formula, and yeah, this was my most used palette. I used it very consistently for a very long time, and I still have to pull this out again when I'm looking for that really soft, creamy, true to color, really nicely blendable shadows. This palette just never disappoints. Alright, let's see. My most loved palette. This is hard. I don't want to say my Lorac Pro palette because I just said this, but if I had to pick my next most loved palette, I would probably have to say I'm going to go with my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I haven't used this as much as I'd like to today, but I love the colors in here. They're so wearable, and I know my future sister-in-law loves this palette as well. I never really thought I would like rosy shades on myself. In fact, I had the Reveal 2 palette, and I actually gave it away to one of my friends because I didn't like the way it looked on me. But this, it's like a neutral, but it works so well in my cool skin tone that I just love it so much, and every time I reach for it, I'm just so happy with it. So that was probably my most loved palette of all of them. It just makes me smile every time I use it. Alright, the last one is my Desert Island palette. Now, I love my Urban Decay Naked 3. I love my MAC Cool Neutrals palette because you can do so many eye looks with this because it's got so many different tones, but if I were to choose between all of my palettes, the one I would take to my Desert Island, I know I mentioned this one, but I would still pick my Lorac Pro palette because, like I said, it's got mattes, it's got shimmers, it's got colors that are wearable. You've got a black, you've got white, you've got shimmery shades. I mean, there's nothing that I wish this, like, how would I word this? This palette has everything that I want, and every time I use it, I'm completely satisfied with how it looks on my eyes and the look I get. I've never been disappointed when I've used this palette, so for that reason, if I had to take only one of my palettes to a desert island, it would be this one. And let's see. I have the SHANXO palette. I have BH Cosmetics. I have the MAC Cool Neutrals, as I just showed you. I have my Makeup Geek Starter Kit. I have my Too Faced Natural Matte, which I also love this. I have the Naked Smoky, the Naked 3, the Too Faced Chocolate Bar, the Tartelette and Bloom, and the Tarte Energy Noir, and yet I would still choose this one over all the others because of the quality and the shade range. It's just, this one is just complete and needs nothing more. And with a lot of my palettes, I feel like I'm missing something, like maybe the right undertone. Like, I love my Too Faced Chocolate Bar, but I always feel like when I use this one as well, I just wish there was something else. Gosh, that smells good. But yeah, I mean, my Lorac Pro just beats every other palette out, and it's my absolute favorite for my collection. So yeah, I think that's all the questions. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you like videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at BaileyDPenn. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.